Well, this is Guns, Knives, and Watches, and basically, sorry, can't pull out Guns, Knives, and Watches. The character right now, been incredibly sick over the last month. Probably everybody in the family's been incredibly sick. We've been traveling all over the place, doing our jobs, and trying to basically reorganize the company. Luckily, gave everybody the day off yesterday, and hopefully we'll be able to hit back at it on Monday. But while taking a little bit of a respite, I've got a lot of projects kind of knock out on video, so I thought I would basically just, do it the best way I can right now. And when anybody talks about, bags and things like that, you have to understand that every individual's perspective and point of view on that is going to be vastly different than some others. I basically am always mainly in urban settings, and then we travel outside of those urban settings, so my bag has to be a little bit of everything. It has to cover self-defense, and of course, if you've seen my other videos, there's a Glock in here with a 19 with a magazine for a 17, and there is the Matt Will Go knife from Buck in scout carry configuration. But I have been basically learning a few different things about the pack that I didn't really honestly take into consideration. I'm used to staying at, I know the places that I stay. How about that? So I'm very familiar with them. I'm very familiar with the way they do business, I'll give you an example. I'll travel to 7 states in 30 days. And that's just kind of the way this time of year works for me. But one thing that I have done is I've had to take my pack and gear it more towards, I guess, self-defense. Added the gun, carried a knife that isn't ideal for bushcraft, for field type things with a Matt Will Go knife. It still has a 4.5 inch something blade, something like that. Basically goes across your palm, which is a good working size. And have done a few other things, but this is a Light My Fire lunchbox. To say it's a lunchbox is kind of overstating what it really is. What it is basically 2 pieces of plastic that fit together. There's no fasteners, there's no nothing. They have other versions of this. They have newer versions. This is the old version. I purchased it just like this. No accessories. It may have come with a fork. Oh, it did come with a fork. And it was just they're very basic, and this was last gen stuff. But when we're out and we're doing things, we buy meals, we buy this type stuff, and we're able to take them back to the hotel and eat. And we're able to do stuff like that. And when you're in a real, honest-to-God, bug-out situation, those are the things you're also going to be doing because you'll be staying in hotels, you'll be staying with friends, you'll be staying with this, that, or the other. But primarily, that's what you'll be doing. You won't be pitching a tent. Even though this setup has the ability to create shelter, it's still, we have to get back to what is real, not what is kind of make-believe. And this basically, is this the best setup? No, but it gives you a higher size, it gives you a little plate, it gives you a type of another plate or bowl type configuration where you can reheat your food in the microwave and basically save you money when you are out and about. Like I said, this is not only, this covers EDC, it covers self-defense, it covers shit hitting the fan, basically. It covers a lot of different purposes. It's like you don't want to have some crazy ass gun hat in your bag when you're trying to be low profile. This is basically a Lacoste, and with that there crocodile on it, or is an alligator, I forget. Anyway, one thing that I have used quite a bit are these little, we've been using these on all our trips lately, are these fold up little Colgate toothbrushes, and they are awesome. And they don't get all funky, but that's neither here nor there. It's just a side note. Like, you know, you'd never take the saw out of the pack. And this is a very small saw. Could you put a Silky in here? Yeah. Would it probably be better? Yeah. One thing that I did learn when setting up the AquaQuest and actually using it out in the field. Now, this is not the, this is the Guide series AquaQuest, and I think it's 8 by 10 or 12 feet. Shit, I don't know. They have one that's about 3 cubic meters, or 3 meters square. Yes, it's 3 meters. 3 meters by 3 meters. And this is the smaller one. When you're setting this up, you don't need, and I've shown previously, put 4 stakes in there. Well, I was mistaken because I was setting it up the way some crazy ass loon, and I tried to make it work for me, but in reality you need 5 stakes. Why you need 5 stakes, and you're going to need 1 stick or 1 post or a trekking pole or just a stick you cut down, this, there, or the other, is because you need, in cold environments, you're going to need cover from at least 3 sides, okay? The 4th side is going to be your access point. So what you basically do is imagine you basically have a level field here, and we have our tarp basically laid out on that. Okay, you're going to tack the back 2 corners to the ground. Okay? Then in the middle and the front, you're going to put up a single post. Then you come and tack your other 2 sides, and they'll be drawn in. So you'll basically have a triangle that you enter into. The back will be level with the ground, and you will have coverage from the sides and the back, and you have to set it up, you know, where that's where the wind's coming from or the rain's coming from. And it's just a better way of setting up a tarp, and it's the way that a lot of people set up these tarps on things like places like when you're out backpacking and stuff like that. And some of the survival gurus, kung foolishness, you know, crazy asses, might ought to get their ass out there on a trail and actually learn how to put up a fucking tarp that actually works, and doesn't have to be, doesn't overly expose you, and actually gives you a lot of the benefits of a tent type configuration. Because as I said, you've got coverage on 3 sides, and you know, you've got the 1 post in the middle, da 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 da. Of course, I traded my stainless steel over to this Nalgene. 1, I've got a scale on the side of it where I can easily measure out things. 2, I can heat things up in the microwave. This plate also serves that same thing, because when you're bugging out, man, you got to take your microwave and that there refrigerator, because you got to have that there refrigeration, man. Now, you just need that, man. But in reality, in disaster type scenarios, in that type stuff, in your day-to-day life, when you're out doing things, those are the things you're going to be exposed to. You're not Grizzly Adams out there trying to wrestle a bear, man. I think that's the way they say bear. I'm not exactly for sure, but I think that's the way I've heard it. Of course, this kit, of course, has my backup survival kit. This basically has enough stuff where I can survive and do a few things. Of course, it's got some extra things in it, like a lockpick set, da 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 da. But that's just things I need when I'm operating. It's just like this you know, solar panel. if you're going to be in a situation where there's a loss of power, it's something that you need. You're going to be in a natural disaster if you're going to do any of those type things. It's just the way it is. Now, I'm not saying that you make your living going through natural disasters or things like that. Maybe the way in which some of the people that I know do, but still, it's nice to have some conveniences, some things around you, and actually be able to facilitate. Because we still have, even though we have the Nalgene bottle is plastic, even though we have the Light My Fire stuff, we still have the titanium Esbit cup in there that's 750 milliliters. We still have the 1.8 liter hard anodized aluminum pot. And hard anodization basically is a way of artificially aging aluminum, giving it an extremely hard surface so that you don't have any of the bad qualities that some people attribute to aluminum, which means you don't uptake it, and this, there, or the other. And in a disaster type situation, does it really matter? Because you're probably not going to be using underarm deodorant, and if your underarm deodorant has aluminum in it, which probably does, you know, you won't. It's not that big a deal. But hard anodized aluminum doesn't convey or transmit the same things as unprotected aluminum or unartificially aged or anodized aluminum. Anyway, this is Guns, Knives, and Watches, and this is really the best I can do right now. And some of the things that I've done to my pack to basically modify it for the next few months, and just the things that we do. We don't always stay at our own hotels, and I know our own hotels have full kitchens, have that type of stuff, but in the real world out there, when you're going to be staying places, you're going to be doing things like that, you know, you have to understand that that's not the way the vast majority of the world lives. This is Guns, Knives, and Watches, and have a good one.